So hello fellow Earthlings, this is Earthling 6455463728 and I wanted to talk about patience. I'm coming from the point of view of how hard it can be sometimes to be patient in order to help other people, whether it's professionally or whether it's socially or something like that, or just to be friends with somebody for that matter. I was looking at Graham Stephan's first podcast today. Graham Stephan is a YouTuber who talks about financial matters and real estate, primarily finance though, about making sure that you spend within your means and you save and you look for different means to basically do well in life. So anyway, he had his first podcast recently, I think it was. And I was looking on it and I was surprised to see that there was this young guy that I had never seen before. And Graham Stephan was there with him too. And to make a long story short, this was an employee of Graham who answers his emails and maybe social media and so on. And the guy had a couple of questions for Graham, and basically, while he's answering these questions, the guy would say, well, hey, if you have any questions for me, you can ask me, or if you have any things that you want to talk about with respect to me, you can do that too. Anyway, at some point, the guy was talking. Now, when Graham was talking, the guy was pretty eager. He was listening to what Graham was saying. But then every once in a while, the guy would start talking about, when I was a kid, this happened, da-da-da-da. And while he was saying that, Graham wasn't rude, really. He didn't say, well, I'm not interested in that or anything like that to such a degree. But his body language basically was saying that, oh my God, I can't stand another second of listening to this story. And that happened kind of a couple of times. Basically, while he was listening to the guy, he would maybe grimace a little bit, and he would put his hand over his face and, wipe his hand over his eyes and maybe look in another direction or something. And I realized, wow, that is a bit like me when I don't have patience for something somebody might be telling me or something that we might be trying to do. And it made me remember it was a very brief experience, but one of the hardest, most difficult, horrible experiences I've ever had. And like I said, it's not like it was a week or even, a couple hours or something. It was maybe 10 or 15 minutes or something like that. Basically, there was a girl I liked. I told her that I would help her to study. She never took me up on it until a couple weeks before this really big exam, a law exam that she had. And she came over to my house, something that she was reluctant to do, but she came over, and here we are about to start studying this thing that I told her that I would help her study. And here we go. And as soon as we started studying these legal terms and ideas, it was excruciatingly painful to have to read and listen and just talk about this particular topic. It was excruciatingly horrible. I can't think of anything else to say. I mean, it was bordering, it was everything except painful, physically painful. But it was really, really horrible. The only thing that I could think about that's similar and is as fleeting is, let's say I'm doing something that I might like. Maybe I'm playing a video game or just doing something that I really think that I enjoy, let's say. And somebody might call me, and it doesn't matter who it is. I would just be like, who the heck is calling me? And I have to stop what I'm doing, and hey, it's this particular friend of mine, he's calling me. And for the first 3 minutes of the conversation, I wasn't into it, you know. But I don't want to be rude. I haven't spoken to this guy in a long time. And so I would just talk. And after a couple of minutes, it would be fine. You know, I have no problem. I've settled into this new normal, and it's okay, and everything's fine. And yeah, that's the closest thing that I can put to it. But the thing is it's a lot of times I end up in a similar situation in the past when I was trying to show my sister something, or I'm trying to show my mom something. It is so hard to be patient and to be understanding. The thing is that if somebody is paying me, because I've been a tutor for a lot of different people, and when it comes to getting paid, I find that I'm very professional, and I don't have as much trouble being patient as if I'm not getting paid. If I try to search my mind and my memory to try to make sure that I can be accurate, I think that at times, on occasion, I probably definitely am just as frustrated as if I'm not getting paid. But I find that it is a lot easier, especially with people that I don't know socially, to be professional and just take that frustration and bottle it up and suppress it. And it's something that I guess most of us tend to do. Most of us are able to do that when it comes to our job, I think. In the instance with the girl that I'm talking about, I felt that it was a really good opportunity for me because it was so stuck in my brain that, you know, if it was my sister or my mother, that would have been the end of it. You know, the frustration of those first couple of minutes, I'd have been done. I'm not doing this. You know, I don't know what's wrong with you, da 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 da. But because I asked the girl to be here, and I was glad that she was here, and I couldn't do something that would mess up the whole plan of having her here and her being here, and yeah, so I just had to go along with it. And in the end, I found it to be a really fulfilling experience to learn however little it was that I ended up learning about the law. So, but based on that, and also when I think about it and I bring in the experience of quitting smoking, wherein while I was trying to quit smoking, one of the things I found that was really helpful was the idea that to realize that cravings last a finite amount of time. So here you are, you want to quit smoking, and you find that you feel like you want to smoke. Well, don't worry about it. As long as you can outlast the craving, which might be 5-10 minutes, it's gone. It's not like you're gonna be sitting there for hours and hours and days with this consistent, never-ending desire to smoke a cigarette. No, it comes and it goes. And as long as you can outlast it, and you chain up those periods of outlasting your craving, then sooner or later you're gonna realize, hey, you're done. You don't want to smoke. Of course, that said, and maybe I mentioned it in some other piece, I did want to smoke for a very, very long time after, meaning that the craving and the desire to smoke, it didn't go away after a year, let's say. Of course, it wasn't a continuous thing. I didn't wake up in the morning wanting to smoke or something. But the cravings, like when I saw somebody else smoking, for example, the desire to smoke and the desire or the idea that it was a pleasurable thing took a long time to go away completely. And now, if I think of smoking, I just don't think of that supposedly pleasurable feeling that I would have from smoking. Of course, there wasn't really a whole lot of pleasure involved in it. It was just chasing the first high kind of thing. But I think to encapsulate everything that I've been saying, if you can go for 5-10 minutes in terms of being able to control a desire that you might have, you might find that there's a reward on the opposite end. Hopefully Graham Stephan and his friend never hear what I have to say, but it's really unfortunate that Graham can't get over his boredom or his reluctance to listen to the stories that his employee is telling him. Of course, the employee as an employee, and for pay or for whatever benefit he might have from his association with Graham, can probably take a lot of not being appreciated. And, well, I don't want to say not being appreciated, it just seems to be really hard for Graham to listen to the guy's stories. It seems like, and this is not anything particularly unusual to Graham himself, every one of us, while we're waiting for somebody else to stop talking, we often know what it is we want to say, and we wish the other person would just stop talking already. But I think it must be, of course, Graham doesn't have any current real need or motivation to listen to what this guy is saying, so I wish the guy luck, and I wish Graham luck. Maybe he was just tired. Maybe it was. Anyway, guys, patience can be really valuable, and I wish you lots of patience. So, you can wish me lucks, you can like or unlike, you can comment, subscribe and or share, and of course, you can do nothing. Peace.